a step outside and seize the day now.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is actually going to be a new type of video, and it's just been weighing on my heart to do this type of video because of everything that's been going on, and I just felt the need to say it. And this is more related to like what has been going on with me, but I'm sure most of you can relate to what I'm about to be talking about. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about my experience with God. Not my overall experience with Him, but it's more of a how to wait your turn. And so I just wanted to make this video because, like I said, it's been weighing on me, on my mind, on my heart, that I had to do something like this. And it's definitely not the same vibe as I've been giving in a video. And so I hope you guys like this video, and if you guys can relate to it, drop a comment down below. Maybe we can have a chat, see how similar our experiences can be and probably are, and we just don't know it or don't see it yet. So with that super long intro, let's get onto the video. So I just wanted to start this video with a quote from Isaiah 41 verse 10, and it says, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my vicious right hand." And I'm still reading the Bible, going through the Bible. This is my first read through the Bible. And so I'm still learning the quotes, inspirational quotes, and walk with me quotes that the Lord has given us, basically, so that we can always remember that He's with us. And so I'm still going through that little bit of transition where I'm not talking just, oh well, I need this and it's on me to get it. I'm going through that transition where it's more like, I need something, Lord, help me figure out how to go about it. If it's your will, give me a sign to know that, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'm really trying to transition to that mindset versus I need to do it, let me do it. So it's more of a let God decide for you type of video. And so I'll go back a little bit. I feel like my brain is all over the place because I don't have one specific overall topic that I want to go through. More of a remember that He's always with you and that it's His decisions that count, not yours. And so story time, I guess. A couple weeks ago, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We are starting school. I'm in my 4th year of grad school, and I can't see or couldn't see where my life was going because I felt like I was in a standstill with my research, with talking to my advisor, and all that put together. If you've ever gone through school to get a PhD, you might be able to relate a little bit as to what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, I guess I'll just explain it and just say that grad school isn't just being by yourself. Yes, you're independent, more independent than you were in undergrad and high school and all that, but you can't do everything by yourself. You always are going to need your advisor to approve on your project and make sure that you're doing everything correctly. And so with my advisor, and it being COVID season and having so many different types of meetings and not hearing from the correct people that I needed, I was at probably an all-time low. I will say that it was an all-time low, borderline, almost depression. And I'm not just trying to like use depression and like say that I was depressed, but I was at the point where if it had continued, I would have definitely gone into the depression stage. And so I, like, in my head, I'm so like type A about everything. I need everything done this period at this time, and I just like I make lists. I make sure that everything that I'm doing, like, I have a reason to do it. Like, I make my list. And so my timeline wasn't going right. Nothing was going right because of COVID, because of everything switching, changing, and not being able to hear from the right people that I needed. And I was, at one time, I was just kind of like, this is stupid. I don't see why I'm doing this. I'm gonna quit. Like, why am I here? And God has a funny way of like being there for you at your all-time low. Like, he's always there for you, but when you need him the most, he's gonna pull through like that as fast as possible. And so what was it? It was probably 3 days after I was like, okay, I'm done. Okay, rewind. So right after I said I was done, I was like, you know what? No. At this point, I literally had just started like reading the Bible. Right now I'm in Joshua, and I'm trying to read it like a book. I'm not supposed to be doing that, but as it being my first time reading it, I just decided to just read it like a book. So I'm in Joshua, so I'm not well versed in the Bible. I just know what my religion tells me, basically, and that is, like, as a Roman Catholic, I tend to not know a lot about the Bible, which is really weird. But I never read the Bible, so this was my first time. And so I've been trying to get closer and closer and closer to God the past, we'll say like 2-ish, 3-ish months. And so I was like, you know what? Before everything goes horribly, let me just say, God, like, I'm done. And so I said, God, I'm done. Like, whatever you want me to do, go ahead and tell me, because I have no idea what to do with myself right now. And so I talked to him that day, and I think it was on a Friday or Saturday. I talked to him that day, and I expressed to him how I was feeling, and I know he knows how I'm feeling, but I generally had a conversation with him, not just in passing, let me give a random prayer. I think that conversation helped me, because after I talked to him, I definitely relaxed. I relaxed a lot, stopped worrying completely. I finished talking to him. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not gonna think about it. And like my whole, like that weekend, I was so calm, not worried about anything. And I was like, if whatever's meant to happen is meant to happen. And so I, when was it? On Monday, my husband was having a meeting, and I was like, okay, you know, let me push just one more time. And he had a not Monday, Tuesday actually, he had a meeting, and I asked the person he had a meeting with to give me the Zoom account that he's been using to communicate with the person I needed to communicate with. That very same day, I'm telling you, God has a plan. He doesn't like you to like think that you can go ahead and like change his plan, because you can't. Even when you think you can, you can't. That very same day, like an hour later, person I needed to talk to messaged me saying, do you have time to meet? And I was just kind of like, wow, okay, sure, I'll meet, cool. And normally these meetings are very rushed, and I'm never actually sure what's going to be said, but I literally started talking to the person, and it didn't go through everything that I needed it. Like, I didn't get to finish talking about everything, but he had told me to come on to a meeting that was happening the next day. So I did. Next day comes around, I get onto the meeting. I have no idea if he's even gonna let me into the Zoom meeting, but he does. And the night before, my husband was like, you might not even have time to talk to him after the meeting because you're supposed to present something and then try and figure out if he has time. And normally the person doesn't have that much time on his hand. And so not supposedly, but the person didn't actually have time. He apparently had a meeting at 9:30. So I jump on at 9. The meeting that's currently going finishes at 9:15. So I have time to do my 15-minute spiel of what I needed the person to do. 9:15 comes, so he says, oh, I have a meeting at 9:30, but I can talk to you until then. My heart just like dropped because I was like, I'm not gonna have time to talk. Like, I have so much more stuff that I want to say, but I can't. But like I said before, God has a plan. During the meeting I had, the person that I had a meeting with, like I said, had a 9:30 meeting. The 9:30 meeting, like 9:30 comes around, he's like, oh, I don't see the person. So I keep talking. I keep talking through the meeting. He never says that the person's logged on or anything. 10 o'clock comes around and the person calls saying, I've been trying to get onto the meeting since 9:30. Are we still having the meeting? And I'm just kind of like, wow, okay, that meeting that would have cut my time, literally the other person was trying to get onto the meeting and couldn't. And the person I had the meeting with, let's call this person A. I had the meeting with A, and A couldn't see that there was somebody else on the line. How crazy is that? Zoom is pretty predictable. I have never had a single Zoom meeting or a single person trying to get onto my Zoom meeting not be able to. And so I feel like Zoom is pretty predictable and reliable. And so the fact that it wasn't able to be seen, God had to have a plan, had to have set a plan in motion for this to happen. And I am so incredibly thankful for everything he's done, because that has brought my moral from literally a 1 to a 10, and now every question that I've had for the past month has been answered, basically not on my time, obviously. Definitely not on my time. It would have been answered quicker if it was up to me. But God has a plan, and his plan, you might not like it. You just have to go along with it sometimes, because it's not up to you. It's definitely not up to you. It's up to him. It's up to God. And so I have a couple of notes that I wrote down that I want to make sure I went through. Okay, yeah, my first point is not to forget to put God in your decision, because your decision isn't yours, it's his. And so making sure that you put him and bring him into the conversation, talk to him about what you want, your needs, your wants, all of that. Talk to him and make sure that that's what he wants for you. That's not what you want for yourself. So you want to make sure that you're able to talk to God and keep him in your decisions. Don't be afraid to ask for help. God has a funny way of showing help. And at some point you might not like it, but that's his plan, and he is with you even when you don't think he is. And so ask him for help and talk to him, and just overall believe in him, because he's there for every single move that happens in your life. Another point that I have is that everything has its time, and that is completely 100% true. Everything has its time. We don't know what's going on. We don't know why everything goes on, but God has a plan in mind, and we all know that He has a plan, and we just sometimes the plans that we want aren't His plans, and we just have to let it go, let our plans go, because His plans are better for us. We might not like the first part of the plan to get us to, we might not like part A to get us to part C, but part C is gonna be amazing, and you're gonna feel amazing after that. Also note that just because you forget Him, because I've had that problem, I forget Him in my decisions, I forget Him in everyday life sometimes, which I'm trying to be better at. And actually this video might just be what I need to keep me accountable for this. Don't forget Him in everyday life, because He sure doesn't forget you. And whatever you do it for Him, because He's going to do everything He can to do what you need Him to do for yourself. I was telling my husband what I was going through, and he's known what I've been going through, but I've been talking to him about it, and he uses this analogy, and I don't know if he made it up, if he heard somebody make it up, but I have to read this off because I'm not 100% like comfortable just talking about it without having it. So if you guys know what oobleck is, O-O-B-L-E-C-K, it's slime that when you go softly through it, it gives and gives and gives. But as soon as like you force it to, like, you hit a wall. And I feel like that's exactly what God is. God is oobleck. And so as God, He will give and give and give when you least expect it, when you go softly with Him, when you take patience with Him. But as soon as you try to force it, you might not even know that He actually like giving you, because you're blocking Him, and there's a block there. So don't force everything. Like, you might be type A just like I am, but don't force everything. God has a plan. Everything that goes on in your life, everything that's going on today throughout the world, it's because of His plan. And so we might not like it, but we just have to get through it and deal with it, because it's going to be better overall. It is. I just know it is. It might not be better as quickly as you want it to be, but I know it's going to be better overall. With that said, this is the end of the video. I know it was a completely different video from what I've been doing, but I hope you liked this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, comment below, share your experiences with Christ down below, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see any more of these videos, because I'm feeling a calling of doing this type of video to make God known, and I think this is the one chance of doing this, because with everything going on, I feel like people are forgetting God. So I hope you guys like this video, and like I said, thumbs up. Bye.